Okay, so night one of WrestleMania is done, and just want to go through a little bit about my reactions to the matches and what we saw go down tonight. First of all, the show got a little bit of a late start, but I felt like they did a very decent job of keeping things going, keeping a flow going through interviews and other things, through commentating, while they were able to let the storm pass and get everybody back to their seats safely. Thought the opening was fairly decent. They still had some pyro and everything. I will say that later on in the show, when they did the pyro that was probably meant for the start of the show, that was very neat. Alright, so the first match was Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. This was a very hard-hitting match, and I very much enjoyed it. I kind of expected them to change the title and put it on Drew, but I was still very much okay with the call on leaving it on Bobby Lashley. I think he's a very strong champion. I like him as a champion. Then the match that I had next earlier in my predictions was the Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus The Miz and John Morrison match. That was amazing. From the entrance of Bad Bunny on the truck to the way that he worked in the ring, taking the bumps, the way that The Miz worked with him as far as helping him sell stuff, and The Miz selling moves from Bad Bunny was absolutely great. The work that Bad Bunny and Damian Priest did in the ring as teammates was fantastic. I absolutely loved it, considering that he has only been training for a certain amount of time and is not necessarily a regular WWE superstar. It was wonderful. Very entertaining. We then had the Cesaro and Seth Rollins match. I have listed that next. This was a match that I thoroughly enjoyed, from the swings from Cesaro to Rollins bringing back the pedigree to the several attempts of Rollins attempting to do the stomp, which he did at one point. The feel-good moment of Cesaro winning this match and getting his WrestleMania match win was great. And I don't believe that it hurt Seth Rollins at all. I feel like it got him over even more as a heel. So I thought the match was very well done. Then there was the New Day versus AJ Styles and Omos. This match was very well done. AJ was in the match for most of it, with the New Day taking control of it for the most part. So just before they went out, I thought it was amazing with Big E joining the New Day, bringing them back together again, and having Big E help them with that entrance. I thought that was very nicely done. I enjoyed it. When Omos got into the ring, so I felt like we maybe didn't get to see as much of what he can do. He was physical in that he showed that he was very strong, and it was hard to get him down. And I don't know that they even did actually get him off his feet at all. So there was that, showing the strength of Omos, but we didn't get to see, I don't feel like, as much technical ability as we maybe could have. But with the titles now on AJ Styles and Omos, we could now begin to see that. So I feel like that's going to be very well done there too. I'm very excited to see where they go with AJ Styles and Omos as champions. Then I had the Shane McMahon versus Braun Strowman match. It was a little better than I thought it was going to be. There were typical spots that you are expecting from Shane. What I thought was interesting, and I will give credit for, that was kind of neat, was Strowman peeling the cage away a little bit and literally pulling pulling Shane back in, and just him catching him through the cage when Shane was going to jump down and win the match. That was made it kind of interesting, made it bearable. Let's just say that. Kind of hope that will be the end of that storyline. Then let's talk about the tag team turmoil match for the women, which a little bit of time got cut from this. I feel like because of the late start due to the weather, I still feel like they did their job. They did the best they could do, and they still showcased their abilities. We will see what happens tomorrow night with Natalia and Tamina going up against Nia Jax and Shayna. It should be a decent match. I will say this, my original pick had been the Riot Squad, and I had hoped for them to then take the titles away from Nia and Shayna tomorrow, but I feel like because of the strength of Tamina, the strength of Nia, this may be a better match. I'm going to give that a little time and see how that match goes tomorrow night. And the last match, Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair, the main event. These women killed it. From the change up in the look of Sasha, which I thought she looked amazing. I thought Bianca looked amazing. They showcased the strength of Bianca through her lifting Sasha from outside of the ring, carrying her up the steps, and getting her back in the ring. I thought that was a very nice touch. The spot with Sasha getting her knees up, I thought that was kind of nicely done through that. And then the use of the hair throughout the match. I just thought they did an incredible job and a wonderful closeout to the show. These women earned their main event spot this year. I absolutely believe that. Okay. And those are my reactions to the first night of WrestleMania.